welcome to all new episode of Mystics Outlook. I'm your host Cardell Dudley, joined by co-host Raymond Lyons, and Mystics made it tougher than it had to be, man. But they held on for their second consecutive win over the Seattle Storm, 71-65. Ray, we'll start with you, man. Just what are your thoughts of this madness that we call the game tonight?
I mean, the Mystics came out on fire, man. Their first half was damn near flawless. It
Mhm.
looked like what I expected Friday night's game to look like, man. They came out, ran their offense. They defended well, and they just had a stranglehold on the game. And it's shocking that they had one of their most fluid halves offensively with Elena out. It's like when she's in the game, they other players forget that they're capable as well. You know, but when she's not there and they don't have her to rely on, it's like I don't know, they just seem to understand that they got to be more aggressive, but they need to bring that aggressiveness while she's playing as well, just to make them all more vital threats. But yeah, they were all over Seattle in the first half. Um, I don't know what Noel Quinn said in the locker room at halftime, but man, whatever it was, they responded. They ratcheted their defense up. The Mystics couldn't do anything, uh, and then they just got more aggressive offensively. We saw on Friday Ezzy just putting her head down and getting to the basket. She started doing that in the second half, and it opened some things up, and it rocked the Mystics, and it took them a while to to kind of regain their composure. But yeah, man, it was just the force that Seattle played with in the second half, and they eventually fought their way back in the game. And the Mystics, man, they really just had no answer. It was just that the lead was so big that Seattle just kind of ran out of time before they could come back. But they was knocking on the door. They was down by 28, got it to within three, and I mean, like once the game that got that close that late with Drew Lloyd on the floor, I got extremely nervous. But Mystics was able to hold on. I mean, it's good that they got the win, but that was almost a monumental collapse, man. That just can't happen. Natasha Cloud, she was lights out in the first half. I think she should have looked for a shot a little bit more in the second half, especially during those times when the Mystics offense was sputtering. That fourth quarter was brutal. Uh, that was tough to watch, man. But glad they held on for the win. They went to Seattle, got two, and be on their way back home. But yeah, it definitely shouldn't have been that hard, especially after going up 28. They got to close out better than that.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. You couldn't ask for a better first half. They led by Cloud, starting the game 3 for 3 from deep. And then their defense, they pretty much neutralized Ezzie McBeggar. She didn't really get going in the first half. They looked like they were well on their way to, an easy win. Sit the starters in the third quarter, let the bench get in, young players get some reps and whatnot. You know what I'm saying, like Warrior style. But like you said, halftime, something happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the missus got too happy. Thought they had the game won. Noel Quinn is a hell of a coach. You can see her frustration on the sideline the first half
Mhm.
when they couldn't get a shot to fall, couldn't stop the miss. Like basically in the first half, everything that could go wrong for a team went wrong for the Storm. And yeah, in that second half, man, they came out crazy. And it's wild how we know the game of basketball is a game of runs. And the Mystics went on a big run in the first half where they literally went on a 20-0 run, which blew the game open and held. I got it written down. They held the Storm scoreless from the 4:44 mark in the first quarter to the 7-minute mark in the second quarter, which is crazy for any level, let alone professional, the highest level in basketball. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. But then in the third quarter, the Storm start the second half on an 18-7 run. You see what I'm saying? And then they had a 13-0 run to start the fourth, which allowed them to get right back in the game, cut the lead, and listen to the broadcast. They said if the Storm would have came back and won, with them being down 28 in the first half, it would have been the biggest comeback in WNBA history. And I'm like, please don't let
Mhm.
that. Like you can't, like you don't want to be on that side of history, right? That'll show you confidence, man. But they held on. Atkins made some big baskets. I think she had a three and a fadeaway to stop. She had a fadeaway to stop the bleeding on the baseline. Then she had a three, and
Mm-hmm.
that as you can see with the 71-65 loss, that was the cushion, man. And then what also led to the Storm coming back. Mabega woke up, and Ivana Dolce. I thought she was huge at point guard. They started. I don't think she didn't start the game, but she started the second half. She started the second half, and her defense was tough. She had some timely shots. She just played efficient, winning basketball. And she was just tough, and led the charge with Mabega, and they got going, and they managed to come back. And I'm gonna be honest. Look, Jewel Lloyd, you could tell. I think this is her first game of the season. Saying being off her, just returning, you could tell she don't have her legs on her. She was very rusty. Um, you at the end, I think she took some bad shots that when they had the chance to try to come back and win, I think those bad shots really just killed them because they weren't close, and she didn't have it going all game. When you score 16 on 22 shots and you won 8 from 3, you feel what I'm saying? Like you try to shoot yourself out in rhythm, man, and that ain't gonna happen, especially when you down 28 at one point, man. You gotta play smart ball and let
Mm-hmm.
it and let the game kind of come to you, and so to speak. Not that I felt like had she done that better, it wasn't so frustrated, so to speak, and you could tell she frustrated by the shot she took. It don't always show in your face and your body language or whatnot. It just tells by how you just pressing, and you know what I mean. I think that's what she did. Had she just played within the flow, they might have had even better chance to come back and close this out, man. Um, but look, hats off, no Deladon. They found a way to win, and that's all that matters at the end of the day, man. Just pulling it out, man. So. Um, in that fourth quarter, 7 turnovers. Mystics didn't score for the first 6:20 of the quarter. Until Atkins hit that fadeaway shot, man. So, hey, man, they still got a lot to clean up. But the encouraging thing is they're finding ways to win, so you can't knock it, man. So, um, kudos to them. But they definitely when they get back home, they got to go to Indiana. I think that's their next game on Tuesday. When they fly to Indiana, they got some film work. They got a lot of work to do, man. Because as they start playing some of them upper tier teams, this ain't gonna fly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They'll beat out on. But with that said, we're gonna move on to who's your player of the game.
Um, I think I go Tasha Cloud. I mean, she set the tone. Um, kind of cooled off in the second half, but without her shooting, you know, um, I don't think they even get off to that kind of start.
Hmm.
And she needs to take that aggressiveness into future games because I mean they need it. And they said on the broadcast, people are typically playing her for the drive. If she's knocking down shots, then that just puts a whole another dimension in the offense. And yeah, she just got to take the shots with the confidence she took them today. And I think she'll be fine. But yeah, I think she had the biggest stamp on the game this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm with you. Obviously, with no Deladon, I think she did a good job of taking the lead, leading by example. So as far as being aggressive, scoring, which gave the rest of her team confidence, especially when she hit those shots. You know what I mean? Because if she's a pass first point guard, and she come out aggressive, that just sets the tone. Like, all right, I need to put my head down, get to it. Let's everybody need to get to it, and that's what you saw in the first half, man. Then it seemed like they kind of went away from it, and then the Storm got rhythm. That's when we had a game, but she did a good job of leading and whatnot, and also. Obviously she gonna bring the defense, man, but also getting control of the game again when the Storm is making it run enough where the Mystics can hold on to win. Now this one gonna be a little bit tougher, X factor.
Oh man, it is tough. There's a lot of different ways you can go. Shoot, you can go with Tiana kind of sliding in, starting for Elena. She made some plays. Of course, Shakira is always going to be in that conversation. But really, man, I probably Ariel because of what she did down the stretch. just basically saved the game. Like you said, man, they hadn't scored till she hit the little one leg fadeaway on the baseline. Then on the little pick where they hit the three at the top of the key, that kind of backed Seattle up off of them, gave them a little bit of breathing room when they was really coming down in that. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ariel, man, because who knows when they'd ever scored if she didn't hit them two shots.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Like Ariel, that was a big fadeaway. That little baseline Jones late in the fourth, man. They needed that, man. Like Storm was scoring that wheel at that point, man. They was really that close to getting the lead. I think if they'd got the lead, they got the win. Because
Hmm.
they just it'd have been too much of a momentum to come back from 28 down. And then late in the fourth, you got that, man. That would have been hard to take, man. And then she hit the big three to really kind of, like I said, if you look at the final margin, man, that those shots were huge, man. You know what I mean? Even though she didn't shoot the ball the best, man, she hit the shots that were needed to pull out the win, man. So it's a lot of ways, like you said, you could have went. A lot of players contributing. Even Shatori, she had good moments off the bench or whatnot, but yeah, you gotta go Atkins, man, because she came through in the clutch when they really needed it. And on the road, hostile, Sue Bird, Jersey retirement, it was packed. Um, you know what I mean? The crowd got going. It could have easily went the other way. So you gotta give respect where it's due, man. And she definitely earned that tonight, man. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Be back Tuesday. I believe the Mystics take on, they take on the Indiana Fever. They on the road. They improved to 5-3. Game starts at 7, and we'll be right back here for Mystics Outlook following the conclusion of that game. See you guys now.